Hey guys, so today I'm gonna do a video about my journey sort of doing homeschool. I switched to doing homeschool, online school, distance education, whatever you want to call it, this year, and I've been doing it for nearly 2 months now. So I thought I would answer some common questions around homeschool and just things that I wish I would have known before I started. So yeah, let's get into it. If you have any more questions, leave them down below and I'll try and answer them. I can make another video about this later on in the year. I wrote some questions down on my phone that I think would be good to answer. So I'll just start with the first one. Homeschool versus online school versus distance education. I do distance education, which is different to homeschool and online schools. In Australia, homeschool is your parents are your teacher and they get the work for you, they get your assessments, all that type of stuff. Whereas online schools sitting in front of a teacher all day and doing face-to-face lessons, whereas distance education, which is what I do it through a school. So they have a campus, so I could go to the school if I wanted to. So I get all of my work for the week and then I have until 3 p.m. on Friday to complete it all, so I can do it in my own time whenever I want. And then with the school that I do it through, they have weekly webinars for every single subject, so you can join those or watch them later and just ask questions or just see what we're learning throughout the week and if you need any help with anything. We use, some of you might know, it's called Canvas, and through Canvas you can email your teachers if you need help, and majority of the teachers are distance education teachers, so usually they will answer pretty quickly. So yeah, we chose to do distance education. Well, I chose to do distance education purely because I just felt it suited best for what I wanted to do, and I'm a really independent learner. Even at my old school, I would always get my work done before the teacher would say things and just get what I needed to get done pretty much. So distance education really works for me because I can just do it in my own time, and then the time that I'm not doing it I can do whatever I want. Whereas online school is pretty similar to normal school. You have to sit in front of a computer all day on lessons, which didn't really interest me. Why did I start distance education homeschool? So I started homeschool distance education. I'm just going to call it distance education. So I started distance education because my mum recently moved a few hours away from where my dad lives and where my old school was. So it was either I kind of pick who I live with and I either go to school up here where my mum lives or go to school at my usual school where my dad lives, and I didn't really want to choose between them. I wanted to be able to do 1 week with my mum, 1 week with my dad, what we used to do when my mum lived near us. So the only option really for that was to do distance education. I just want to quickly add that I wasn't made to pick. I wasn't oh, you either live with your dad or you do distance education. I wanted to do distance education. It was my idea to do it. So I just wanted to add that. So it's because it kind of sounds like I was saying I was forced to do it, but I wanted to do it. And it's honestly been really good. I've been able to see both of my parents and still get school done. Okay, the next question is it different to learning at a regular school? I would say it's pretty different to learning at a regular school, just because obviously you have teachers in front of you. When you're at school, there always is a teacher there to help you, whereas with distance education it's you're doing it on your own sort of, and if you need help in the moment you can't really get help in the moment, if that makes sense. So I would say definitely different to learning at a normal school, and me personally I find it a bit harder than my school, but I'm pretty sure my school just did really easy work and didn't really give us anything. But yeah, basically to answer the question, yes, it's definitely different to learning at a regular school because there's no teacher student interaction. Okay, next question, which is a really common question with people that do homeschool, is how is the social part of it? So with me, obviously I gone to regular school my whole life, so I've had friends throughout those years and I still have friends now. But with the school that I do distance education with, they have plenty of other kids that do it as well, and they have little meetup days. Last Monday they had a day where we all went to this theme park, and you could just go with your families and you could meet the kids if you wanted to, or you could just have a day out with your family. And that's what we did because I'm not really interested in meeting new people. I already have friends. These kids are from all over Australia, so it's being friends with them is kind of hard because it's most likely only going to be online. But they also have like excursion days that you can go to with just the students if you really want to like meet people. And then since it's actually attached to like a school campus, you can go to their like swimming carnivals, excursions, formal or prom if you're in America, but if you really want that like normal interaction with people. But like I said, when I go to my dad's, it's like that's my old life. Like I've got all my friends there and I have a job, so like all my people at work, like just stuff like that. Okay, next question is how long do I work each week? Because I really want to do YouTube and I want to focus on that, I spend my Mondays editing. So I don't really do any work on Mondays. Like I'll maybe get 1 or 2 lessons done, but nothing crazy. And then I tend to do my work from Tuesday to Thursday. So I'll just spend like all day Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday doing work. And then if I have anything on Friday, then I'll obviously finish that. But most of the time I'm done by Thursday. And that's just kind of what works for me. And sticking to that for the past like 3 weeks. And it's really been working and I've really been enjoying it, because at the start it was really hard, but I'll get into that in a second. So yeah, I feel like it's just more about what works for you. Like if you decide you want to do it, I'm not saying it's only going to take 3 days. Like it's just kind of what I've been doing and what's worked for me. Okay, next question is it harder? Okay, I would say it's definitely harder, like in my opinion, just because when I'm like learning stuff, as soon as I understand it, like that's it, like I understand it. Whereas it's harder to grasp things when there's not like a teacher in front of you explaining it in their own words. Does that make sense? Like, so the lessons, there's like a video and the teacher is just like reading off a script, sort of, just not really like explaining things, if that makes sense. It's more just like reading off words. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, but yeah, I would definitely say it's a lot harder, especially at the start, because it's like such a big change. Like I was not okay at the start. I did not want to do it. Okay, next question is, would I ever go back to normal school? I have definitely thought about it, and when I first started distance education, that was like my plan, was to go back in grade 12. Like I was definitely going back in grade 12, and I didn't know if I'd go back in grade 11 or not. At the point that I'm at now, where I'm like only spending around 3 days doing school and still having my like time to do like my YouTube and stuff that I want to do, I don't know if I would go back. I think obviously grade 11 and 12 are really hard, so I might struggle a bit, but yeah, I don't know yet like what is in my future, like what I want to do yet. I don't know, so it really just depends on when I figure out what I want to do. Okay, next question is, which do you prefer, normal school or distance education? Personally, I don't prefer one or the other. Like I was never someone that hated school and never wanted to go to school. Like I obviously did enjoy school. I wasn't like, yes, school, but I never really hated it. Like I just was like, yeah, whatever, this is what I had to do. And I don't know how to say this without sounding bratty, but like I never thought school was hard. Like I was always pretty good at school, whatever. So yeah, I don't prefer one over the other. I think they're both good in their own ways. It really just depends on the person and what works for you and your family. Next question is, and probably the most important one, is things think about / know before you start doing homeschool, online school, but distance education. I would say there's like pros and cons for it, as there is for everything, but it really just depends on like you and your life and how it suits you. So I really think about like why you're doing it, and not just not just go, oh, I don't want to go to school, I'm going to do online school, I'll never have to do school, like I'll just sit at home and do what I want all day. Like that's not it at all. Trust me, on the 3 days that I do work, like I'm doing it all day, like from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Like when I went into it, I had the mindset of like, oh, this is going to be so easy, like it's going to take me like 3 hours a day and then I'll be done. Like that's not it at all. It's the same work as you would put in at school. So yeah, I definitely think don't go into the mindset of it thinking that it's going to be really easy and not going to take any time and you'll just get it done and do whatever you want. Another thing, I would really think about your reason for it. Like if you're someone that just doesn't want to go to school, like distance education is not for you. Whereas like my reason is because I want to live with both my parents and I want to see them, like, and I'm a pretty motivated learner. That's another thing, like you need to be a motivated motivated learner if you're gonna do distance education, because you don't have someone in front of you saying, hey, do this, 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 and this. It's like kind of up to you to get it done. That's another thing, like if you really need help and you really need people to tell you what to do, distance education is not for you. That rhymes. It's like, I really think about your reasoning for doing it. Like if it's just, oh, my friends are being mean to me, and my friends are beefing at the moment, like that's not a good enough reason, and you will definitely regret it if you leave school just because of a silly reason like that. Like obviously if it's really intense and stuff, talk to your parents about it, but I would just say really think about your reason for doing it, and obviously talk to your parents and see what they think. Watch YouTube videos like this one on what other people say. Like just do your research about it and really know if it's right for you and if it's something that you want to do. Another thing, this is just my opinion, but like if you don't enjoy school, like if you're someone that hates school and just learning and all that stuff, this might not be right for you, because it's so independent and you really have to motivate yourself to do it yourself. If you're like not a motivated learner and you don't like going to school and you don't like learning, it's probably going to be really hard for you and you're going to find it really difficult. And then last but not least, do you enjoy it and would you recommend it? Yes, I definitely enjoy it, and I will not enjoy it, but like I like that I get my own time. And yes, I would definitely recommend it. Kind of ties into the last question, but I recommend it for certain people. It's not for everyone. It's not easy. It's not going to take 3 seconds. Yeah, I think it's really good. It's such a smart way of learning and should definitely try it out or think about it, because if you're someone that just like gets all their work done and doesn't need to sit at school for the 6 hours, then definitely think about it, because that was me, and now I'm only spending 3 days a week doing it, and then I have the 2 days, Monday and Friday, to do whatever I want. So yeah, I definitely think about it and see if it's right for you. Just wanted to come in and quickly say this because I forgot, but I would not be able to do distance education if my mom didn't work from home. Like I would be so bored all the time and I just would not be able to do it. Like it would be so bad and I would stress. She always calms me down, so if she didn't work from home, I wouldn't be able to do it. So about that as well when you're thinking about whether or not you want to do it. That is at the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other questions, leave them down below and I'll answer them, or I can make another video about it. Make sure to like and subscribe and go check out my other videos if you want to. Bye!